Hello and welcome. Excited you could be here today because I have a guest again. This time we're joined once more by Dr. Diana Howard, our Vice President of Research and Development. Diana has been with Dermalogica since 1994 and as a result has really engineered and masterminded most of the products that we've grown to know and love. Under Diana's direction, not only is she head of research and development for our products, but also the educational curriculum that is developed as a result of that research and development work. So I want to welcome Dr. Diana Howard.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you here, Diana. Now, the great thing about working with Diana, as you can imagine, is that I get to not only ask her all my questions entirely, of course, professional. I need to know information, but I also very selfish because I can ask her anything I want to about my skin. And we also collaborate and work together on products that we create for the general, of course, success of the skin therapist. But from an entirely personal perspective, we also develop products that we want and that we love. And as we have, grown up together, we have become, of course, very fixed on problems and issues with the skin that your clients are concerned about too. And we've already discussed in previous 9 at 9s pigmentation, lightening and brightening. And today I want to talk about something which I'm always very fascinated in, and that is aging and wrinkles. And we just see a lot of information out there about it. And I want to know, is there a cure for wrinkles? Can one take wrinkles on the skin? Now, I kind of already know the answer, but can you take wrinkles and can you eradicate them? And is there such a thing? What is the best approach to treat aging skin?
If you read all the ads in the magazines and saw everything on the internet and TV, I would say, oh my gosh, there's a million cures for wrinkles.
Yeah.
But as a scientist, I have to sit here and tell you, there is no cure for wrinkles. And Jane, we've talked about this. It's so tempting from a marketing perspective to come out with a product and say it's going to fight aging, it's going to cure wrinkles, but the reality is, which is something that we always made a commitment to at Dermalogica, is to be authentic and honest.
Yeah.
And there is no cure.
Right.
The best you can hope to do is try to address the triggers that lead to the signs of aging, and that's what we did in our whole Age Smart.
Right. So, and of course you're right, especially as skin therapists, we can't ever sacrifice our credibility by making a promise that's clearly, nonsensical. We always have to be based in education and fact. That's the background of the International Dermal Institute and Dermalogica. So let's talk a little bit about the ways in which we can address the triggers, which, I love that idea because I like to be ahead of the problem, ahead of the curve. And what we should be talking to our clients about, not when they're already perceiving wrinkles,
Right.
but really ahead of that, as a preventative, and then addressing those triggers that you spoke of. What are those triggers, and how can we address them?
Very simply, there are 3 of them. There's the formation of reactive oxygen species, ROSs, also known as free radicals. Anytime you're exposed to UV radiation, you are triggering thousands, millions. They actually can measure these. They can see them now with special equipment in the laboratory. Millions of free radicals every second are forming. Those not only are the culprits behind leading to aging, but also to disease and inflammation of the skin.
Mm-hmm.
We have the formation of advanced glycation end products. This is when sugar from the foods we ingest in our bloodstream react with proteins in our body, collagen being the biggest protein in our body. They react, they form something called AGEs, hence the play on the name Age
I know,
Smart.
it's so interesting because it's authentically AGE Smart.
Right.
And of course it just happens to spell age Smart, but it stands for the triggers that you're talking
the
about.
advanced glycation end products. It was kind of my
I
own
know,
little inside
I
joke.
remember that meeting and we went, yes, it's great.
And then the third thing is the stimulation of MMPs. We all know them as collagenase, hyaluronidase, elastase. In this sophisticated society we're in today, everybody is now calling them matrix metalloproteinases or
seeing
MMPs.
a lot of that written up.
That's the hype buzzword now. These are what break down our tissue. So these are the 3 triggers that are really going to lead to the signs of aging.
And that's what we address in the Age Smart
Absolutely.
system.
Did you know by the time you reach your 30th birthday, every year thereafter, you're going to lose 1% of your collagen in your skin?
Oh, good grief.
So you wonder why when you're 55, your face is feeling like it's kind of falling?
Yeah, well now I know when I'm doing Pilates and I look down, my knees look so old. Because it's not, that's a frightening thing. Don't do it, I don't encourage you to. But it's not just on your face, it's sort of everything's
whole
heading
body.
south for the winter.
Yeah. That 1% a year adds up.
Thanks, Diane, you cheered me up. But I do know, so now we need Age Smart body products. You know
Well,
that
that's true.
Now you know what we need. Now you know where I'm going to come from with that. But I think what I'm always laughing about, but it's not so funny because a lot of our clients believe it. You see in the magazines, and you see even on infomercials and on the television, this sort of idea of a product can compete with some of the injectables like Botox.
Right.
It's as good as Botox.
Better than Botox.
Better than Botox.
That's my favorite.
And yet it's delivered in a pot or a jar, and 3 easy payments of whatever it might be. What's that? What is that about?
Basically, they are going after the same mechanism that Botox, how it works in our skin, but the doctor is injecting it through the epidermis, through the dermis,
right,
down
Botox
through the subcutaneous.
with a needle.
With a needle, to get it to where the nerve and the muscle interact. There's a whole chemical reaction occurring there, and the Botox literally stops the release of the chemical, which allows the muscle to contract.
Right.
That's the premise behind Botox.
Right, and that's a prescription delivered by a physician.
Injected.
Right.
If your doctor could slap on Botox on your face, I think they would do it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think they can't really be sadistic where they want to stick this needle in you,
Right.
can they?
No.
So topically, you can't get it to where you need it to go. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people who have jumped on that bandwagon, who have said that their ingredient, whether it's argireline or the new generation's called Snap 8, which is a longer form of the argireline molecule. My favorite's the snake venom from the viper.
Okay.
All of these are designed to do the same thing Botox does, topical application. Literally, as a scientist, I can honestly tell you, it will work in a petri dish with nerve fibers and muscle cells. I've seen it
Right.
in here in this lab,
Yeah.
shown to me. But topically, there's no data that proves that it does work.
Right,
in that
because what
same
you
way.
can achieve in a petri dish, I mean, that's like trying to give yourself a blood transfusion by rubbing on blood.
Yes.
It doesn't
Exactly.
work because it's in one place. It doesn't mean you can
Exactly.
get it there by topical application. I mean, the skin is an organ of protection above everything
Absolutely.
else. But it's interesting because I know a lot of our clients come in and ask us about that, and I wanted to address it. Looking ahead and looking forward, what are the key areas do you see new research happening in this area of aging?
I think the hottest area is the peptides, continues
Yeah.
to be. We have such a body of information, scientific data now that supports the incredible use of retinol and what it does to fight the signs of aging. It's absolutely, there's no other ingredient that has been studied as extensively and has the data to support its ability to reverse the signs of aging. We've been working with many of the leading universities who have been testing it. It's phenomenal what retinol can do in a skincare product. Better than even obviously the different forms of vitamin C.
Right, and that puts it squarely in the arena that Dermalogica has always occupied, which is the cosmeceutical arena. And that's a debate, isn't it, of cosmeceutical and the results that our clients
Right.
want, and then perhaps the emotional connection where they want to go for a more organic or natural product. Subject for another
Yes,
9 at
definitely.
9. But absolutely, we want to be able to get results on the skin in a safe and healthy
Right.
way. And peptides, I know you're a big fan and doing a lot of research in that area. So we're going to look forward to new developments in that area.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. And I need all the products that you can possibly come up with, promise you. So as a huge fan of Age Smart, and I know many of you are, it is our single most successful segment launch that Dermalogica has ever introduced. We're looking forward to even more developments there. I want to thank you for joining us, and I'll see you next time.